Hello, my name is Claire Klein. I'm a board certified music therapist and I'm on my way to being ordained with the United Church of Christ. I'm making these videos for people with dementia and their care partners to share in some spiritual practices together. Today, we'll be talking about the story of Sarah and Abraham in Genesis chapter 18 and then a few verses from chapter 21. The Lord appeared to Abraham by the oaks of Mamre, and he sat at the entrance of his tent in the heat of the day. He looked up and saw 3 men standing near him. When he saw them, he ran from the tent entrance to meet them and bowed down to the ground. He said, "My Lord, if I find favor with you, do not pass by your servant. Let a little water be brought and wash your feet and rest yourselves under the tree. Let me bring a little bread, that you may refresh yourselves, and after that you may pass on, since you have come to your servant." So they said, "Do as you have said." And Abraham hastened into the tent to Sarah and said, "Make ready quickly 3 measures of choice flour, knead it, and make cakes." Abraham ran to the herd and took a calf, tender and good, and gave it to the servant, who hastened to prepare it. Then he took curds and milk from the calf that he had prepared and set it before them, and he stood by them under the tree while they ate. They said to him, "Where is your wife Sarah?" And he said, "There, in the tent." Then one said, "I will surely return to you in due season, and your wife Sarah shall have a son." And Sarah was listening at the tent entrance behind him. Now Abraham and Sarah were old, advanced in their age. It had ceased to be with Sarah after the manner of women. So Sarah laughed to herself, saying, "After I have grown old and my husband is old, shall I have pleasure?" The Lord said to Abraham, "Why did Sarah laugh and say, 'Shall I indeed bear a child now that I am old?' Is anything too wonderful for the Lord? At the set time I will return to you in due season, and Sarah shall have a son." But Sarah denied, saying, "I did not laugh," for she was afraid. He said, "Oh yes, you did laugh." The Lord dealt with Sarah as he had said, and the Lord did for Sarah as he had promised. Sarah conceived and bore Abraham a son in his old age, at the time of which God had spoken to him. Abraham gave the name Isaac to his son, whom Sarah bore him. And Abraham circumcised his son Isaac when he was 8 days old, as God had commanded him. Abraham was 100 years old when his son Isaac was born to him. Now Sarah said, "God has brought laughter for me. Everyone who hears will laugh with me." And she said, "Who would ever have said to Abraham that Sarah would nurse children? Yet have I borne him a son in his old age." So strangers came by Abraham's way, and he made them feel at home by washing their feet and sharing a meal with them, with freshly made cakes from Sarah, curds and milk and a calf. I wonder how you like to make people feel at home in your house. How do you make people feel welcomed? How do you like to be treated when you are a guest in someone's home? Hospitality is so important to the way we relate to each other. Abraham and Sarah were getting older. This version of the story tells us that Abraham was 100 years old. And then these visitors say that Sarah is going to have a baby. She laughed at the idea, but we learned that it happened. I wonder if there are things that you used to do that you are happy to leave to your younger self. Are there things about getting older that have changed the way that you see things? Despite their shock at being told that they would be having a baby, Abraham and Sarah trusted this word. Are there things that you are trusting God with these days? Sarah did have a baby and she named him Isaac. The name Isaac means he laughs. And so I invite us all to share in some laughter today. Even if we're just pretending to laugh, it's very good for our brains. It helps increase our immune system and releases the happy neurotransmitters in our brain. So let's all have a laugh together. Thank you for joining in that moment of laughter and sharing. And I invite us all into a moment of prayer. God of surprises and laughter, may we be open to your presence when we seek your hospitality. May we continue to be your faithful ones as we age. Amen. Thank you for joining me today.